Chapter 141, Forging. My mental strength used to be formless, like a strange gas, Dubai explained. Since breaking through to 4th tier, it's been growing rapidly. Practicing your purple demon eye has made it even better. Today, I felt the gaseous mental strength condense, forming a bit of liquid. It's much denser and takes less space. This gives me way more room to grow. Mental strength liquefaction. Tang San was stunned. His own liquefaction came from fusing Lingxi Heart Eye, Eagle Eye, and Sky Fox Eye, plus his divine consciousness and 3 lifetimes experience. Dubai, just at 4th tier, was already liquefying, likely even without purple demon eye, just slower thanks to Sky Fox Eye. Truly a 1st tier monster bloodline, remarkable. Congrats, brother Dubai. Liquefied mental strength is much stronger. Any new feelings with your Sky Fox Eye? Tang San asked. Dubai nodded. Lots. I can see luck clearer now. Like, your luck today feels great, but it's different, closer, somehow. Others' luck feels solid, but yours is elusive. Tang San mused. That's probably my own Sky Fox Eye. The teachers were right. 4th tier Sky Fox transformation was a qualitative leap, growing with Dubai's mental strength, unlocking its top tier potential. How about you, Sister Chang? Tang San asked Chang Zichun. I feel great. My body's tougher, she said happily. As you said, my golden wings are stronger, my flight's faster, and with my breakthrough, golden wing slash is easier and more powerful. Dubai sighed. Money really works wonders. With cash, cultivation speeds up. Seeing his companions' progress, Tang San was thrilled. Their growth mirrored his, their tiers setting the ceiling for his bloodline powers. Classes were normal, mostly physical training with other teachers absent. Post-Dragon Tendon Fruit, Tang San found training easier and added extra load to absorb the fruit's effects. Morning was training, afternoon was free, a rare break. Tang San had arranged to meet Zhang Haoshuan. After lunch, he went to Zhang Haoshuan's residence. You ate the Dragon Tendon Fruit. Zhang Haoshuan noted, eyeing his changes. Tang San nodded. It's effective. I feel my body stronger. Zhang Haoshuan smiled. It's good, though not top tier. Its yield is low, we only got a bit. You can only eat it once, the second time's effect drops sharply. You need to strengthen your physique, but don't rush, you're young. Eat demon beast meat regularly for steady growth. By 14 or 15, your body should handle adult level strain. Yes, Tang San replied. Let's go, the smithy's ready. Sure you want to forge yourself? Zhang Haoshuan asked. Tang San nodded. I want to try, master. Alright, give it a shot. Zhang Haoshuan trusted Tang San. Though new, Tang San had reshaped his view of human cultivation. Zhang Haoshuan sensed the mysterious heaven technique's wonders but couldn't practice it himself. He'd considered testing it on another human without a demon god transformation but feared exposing it. Tang San's rapid progress and guidance of others, especially solving Dubai and Guli's bottlenecks, made him a blessing to the academy. At the smithy, he greeted them. Burly blacksmiths worked, pausing to greet Zhang Haoshuan as he arrived with Tang San. Tang San's Lingxi Sky Eye scanned them. Their demon god transformations were strength-based, around 3rd tier, sufficient for smithing. Take a break. We'll use the forge for a bit, Zhang Haoshuan said. The blacksmiths, respectful of the town lord, nodded and left. How do you want to do this? Zhang Haoshuan asked Tang San. Please help me heat the forge. I'll try forging, Tang San said. What are you forging? Zhang Haoshuan asked, curious. Tang San took out his black ebony stone. Black ebony stone, what's this for? It's just hard, no special properties or energy. It's collected for durability but too tough to shape, so it's mostly for fences. The shop stock has been gathering dust, Zhang Haoshuan said, puzzled. Tang San explained, Master, I want to test if heating this hard stone can refine something even tougher for a weapon. Zhang Haoshuan shook his head. Wishful thinking. Better metals make better weapons. What use is this stone? Please try it, Tang San insisted, filling the furnace with his ample black ebony stone. Fine, let's try, Zhang Haoshuan sighed. Tang San grabbed a forging hammer. Zhang Haoshuan stood before the furnace, raising his right hand, activating fierce tiger transformation. His body swelled, and a fiery blaze shot from his palm, heating the stone. Tang San watched intently, waiting for changes. The stone's melting point was high. Despite prolonged heating, it only reddened slightly. As Zhang Haoshuan opened his mouth to speak, Tang San said, Master, increase the heat. Chapter 142, Black Ebony Stone. Black Gold. Zhang Haoshuan felt somewhat helpless as he increased the infusion of his bloodline power. The flames shooting from his palm turned a golden red hue. The intense golden red flames reached extremely high temperatures, causing the forging furnace to gradually glow red, and the black obsidian stone inside began to turn increasingly red. We can't increase the heat any further, or the forging furnace will be destroyed, Zhang Haoshuan warned. That's enough, teacher. Please maintain the temperature. As he spoke, Tang San picked up the tongs beside him and pulled out the piece of black obsidian stone that had undergone the most significant color change from the flames. The black obsidian stone was now glowing red hot, radiating intense heat the moment it was removed. Tang San placed it on the anvil, using the tongs in his left hand to hold it steady while swinging the forging hammer with his right hand. Tang San's mysterious heaven technique had already reached the 6th level, and using it to power the hammer made the task effortless. With a resounding clang, the first hammer strike landed heavily on the black obsidian stone. Zhang Haoshuan clearly saw that the extremely hard black obsidian stone was actually flattened by the strike. He immediately showed a look of surprise. Under the high temperature forging, the hardness of the black obsidian stone had clearly decreased. Tang San's movements didn't stop. The forging hammer in his hand struck down again and again. While still controlling the tongs with his left hand, he managed to leverage his body's half turn to add force, making each hammer strike more powerful than the last. Although this wasn't the complete chaotic cloak hammer technique, it was already quite astonishing. The forging hammer struck heavily, and the black obsidian stone continuously deformed. As it reshaped, black powder scattered noticeably. Watching Tang San forge, Zhang Haoshuan was surprised to notice that when Tang San gripped the forging hammer, his entire demeanor seemed to change, as if the hammer were an extension of his body, giving off a sense of unity between man and hammer. Tang San felt the same way. In his previous life, his second martial soul was a hammer. Whenever he faced a formidable enemy, the clear sky hammer was his trump card, his most powerful destructive weapon. Unfortunately, in this life, all of that was gone. Fortunately, the feeling of wielding a hammer remained. Clang, 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 clang. The forging hammer struck repeatedly, and the black obsidian stone rapidly shrank, even beginning to undergo some peculiar changes. The originally pitch black stone, as its volume decreased, gradually emitted a metallic sheen. A dark golden luster became increasingly apparent with Tang San's forging, slowly taking on the appearance of metal. This, Zhang Haoshuan's pupils contracted. Metal. Could black obsidian stone, like other metal ores, be forged into metal? He had tried before but never succeeded. Was it because the forging temperature wasn't high enough? Or did forging require sufficiently powerful strength? As Zhang Haoshuan's mind filled with doubts, the black obsidian stone under Tang San's hammer suddenly burst into brilliant light. A beam of light shot up several meters high, shining for a few seconds before silently fading. The black obsidian stone had transformed into a piece of dark golden metal, its volume now about 1/5 of its original size. Tang San crouched down to closely examine the metal. When the black obsidian turned into the dark golden hue before him, its toughness had increased countless times. In Tang San's previous life, dark gold wujin was an extremely rare metal. Its greatest characteristic was its inertness, showing little reaction to any type of energy. Incredibly tough, dark gold, with its inert properties, could resist most forms of energy corrosion, making it an excellent choice for both weapons and armor. When Tang San first saw the black obsidian stones, he wasn't certain they were dark gold ore. On his second visit, with his enhanced spiritual perception, he made a more accurate judgment, basically confirming that the black obsidian was indeed dark gold ore. Now, after forging, he not only confirmed it was dark gold ore but also discovered that its purity was remarkably high. Although dark gold wasn't an especially precious rare metal, it was highly suitable for making forging hammers due to its incredible durability. Moreover, dark gold was excellent for crafting hidden weapons, as it could effortlessly penetrate various attribute-based defensive skills. This was why Tang San had bought out all the black obsidian stones from the shop. These could be used to craft hidden weapons. He currently lacked effective offensive methods, but with hidden weapons, things would be different. What is this? Zhang Haoshuan asked, looking at Tang San in astonishment. Tang San shrugged and said, I don't know. I just wanted to forge some metal and try making a few hidden weapons recorded in the mysterious heaven treasure record. Teacher, this metal seems quite tough. Zhang Haoshuan raised his hand, pulling the forged dark gold into his palm with a slight suction force. Silently examining it, he squeezed it hard, and as Tang San had said, the quality of this dark gold was exceptionally high, incredibly tough, one of the hardest metals he had ever seen. This worked, turning waste into treasure. Teacher, let's continue. Let's try to forge all these black obsidian stones this afternoon, Tang San said. Zhang Haoshuan couldn't help but ask, what was that glow just now? Tang San replied with an innocent expression, I don't know. He couldn't exactly tell his teacher that this was the thousand forging, first grade, effect, a reaction that occurs when forging rare metals to a certain level. Although he was far from reaching the thousand forging with spirit, or thousand forging, first grade, level of his previous life, achieving this top tier effect was still quite easy for him. If Zhang Haoshuan weren't here, Tang San could have further purified the metal. For now, he simply forged the black obsidian stones. The biggest challenge with dark gold ore was that it required extremely high temperatures to forge. Once it became dark gold, however, such high temperatures were no longer necessary, and the forging furnace's heat was sufficient for further processing. Thus, the only thing that could counter dark gold was fire, particularly extremely high temperature fire. Under high heat, dark gold would soften, but aside from that, it was nearly impervious to other attributes. As for its vulnerability to high temperatures, Tang San would find other solutions, such as alloying it with another metal. But for now, there was no need to overthink it. Pure dark gold was already an excellent material for crafting hidden weapons. Zhang Haoshuan continued heating, and Tang San continued forging. Soon, Zhang Haoshuan noticed that while Tang San seemed a bit rusty at the start, he gradually became more proficient with the forging hammer. The hammer swung with majestic force, occasionally producing flashes of light. The rhythmic clanging carried a special cadence, and the pleasant sound waves reverberated through the blacksmith shop. From years of observation, Tang San had realized that the forging techniques in this world were quite mediocre, likely due to the abundance of resources and the overwhelming power of the demon and spirit clans. Naturally, he couldn't reveal forging skills far beyond this world's level, but basic forging was still acceptable. One by one, pieces of dark gold were forged. Tang San wasn't in a hurry to shape them. Refining all the black obsidian stones into dark gold was the priority, which required Zhang Haoshuan's bloodline flames. Once he had the dark gold, he could forge hidden weapons on his own using the blacksmith shop's equipment. Chapter 143, Staking Out. By evening, Tang San had nearly finished forging the black ebony stone. Watching it transform into black gold, Zhang Haoshuan's face showed astonishment. Where'd you get that storage bag? He asked, voicing another doubt after the forging was done. Tang San's stone couldn't appear from nowhere, and transport was cumbersome. He decided not to hide the storage bag from Zhang Haoshuan. Brought it from Windwolf Town, Tang San said frankly. When I left, I encountered the town's lord, killed him, and absorbed his bloodline power. That's how I was 5th tier when I arrived here. After days together, Tang San trusted the academy and his teacher, seeing no need to conceal certain things. Zhang Haoshuan's eyes flickered. You were 4th tier then, right? He was 5th. Tang San nodded. He fought Flash Leopard clan warriors and was badly injured. I got lucky. Zhang Haoshuan's mouth twitched. So, the war between Windwolf and Flash Leopard clans, you sparked it. They fought fiercely, lost many strong fighters, and even alarmed the ancestral court, which barely quelled it. Tang San blinked innocently. He wanted to kill me, I could have just let him. I don't know what happened after. Shifting all blame, Zhang Haoshuan's expression was colorful. He gave a thumbs up. This kid was ruthless. From leading the beast hunt, Zhang Haoshuan saw Tang San's decisiveness, strength, and calm. He'd observed the team's every move, certain that without Tang San, they'd have achieved half their gains. If that, hunting a winged tiger would have been impossible. Tang San's guidance on teamwork and combat techniques impressed Zhang Haoshuan. His selfless leadership during the trial, partly a test of character, was satisfying. Thanks, master. With the last black gold forged, Tang San stored it, pleased. No hammer today, Zhang Haoshuan asked. Tang San shook his head. Too tired today. I'll come back another time. The black ebony stone softer is metal but less heat resistant. I should only need the smithy next time, not your help. All right, rest up, Zhang Haoshuan nodded. He wasn't sure how to guide Tang San anymore. The boy's growth was astonishing on its own. Tang San added, Master, where can I buy a detailed Jiali city map? The shop didn't have one. Zhang Haoshuan frowned. Why do you need one? Tang San said innocently, to study. Knowing the city could be useful, avoiding dangerous areas. The teacher's maps are too basic. Zhang Haoshuan said, come with me, I have one you can borrow. Detailed maps are rare, hand-drawn, and expensive. Return it when you're done. Thanks, master. Tang San said, saving money was ideal. Hand-drawn maps showed the fairy continent's backward technology, still in a cold weapon era, albeit built on immense individual strength. At Zhang Haoshuan's, Tang San saw why the map was precious. Made of leather, it spanned 6 square meters, folding into a large bundle. Back at his place, Tang San hung it up. The colorful, detailed map far surpassed Wan Longzhong's classroom version, even marking surrounding mountains clearly. He quickly located their academy town, with houses detailed, but Redemption Academy was absent, likely too new or insignificant. Tang San memorized academy locations. There were 3 tiers, basic academies for general education, accessible to most monsters, mid-tier ones requiring status, and the elite Jiali Academy nearby. Given beautiful young master's age, she likely attended a mid-tier academy, not basic education. Jiali City had only 12 such academies. With the scope narrowed, he'd check each one, staking them out. For the next few days, Tang San attended classes by day. Afternoons, he either forged at the smithy or staked out target academies, keeping a steady routine. But after 6 days at 2 academies, he found no trace of beautiful young master. He visited the milk tea shop once, but she wasn't there, and he couldn't ask further, resorting to staking out. He noticed academies dismissed students near dusk, with monsters leaving as they didn't offer lodging. Beautiful young master would go home after school. He planned to stake out each mid-tier academy for 3 days, observing closely, certain he'd spot her if she appeared. During stakeouts, he saw human vassals at some academies, likely from strong bloodline groups, but they were treated as lesser, exiting through side gates, making his search easier. Still, no luck. Forging went smoothly. Tang San sought metals to complement black gold but hadn't found any. He crafted a pair of forging hammers, tailored to his past life preferences, easing future work. Zhang Haoshuan, supportive, gave him a private smithy area, shielding his work from other blacksmiths who only heard his strikes. The training team returned then, looking bedraggled, aptly, dusty and disheveled. All 5 were injured, not severely, but their dejected expressions showed poor results. Chapter 144, no sign of beautiful young master. Healing injuries came first, but before Tang San could inquire, Dubai sneaked into his room. Little Tang, you know what? Their training was nowhere near as good as ours. Heh, Dubai said, closing the door with a sly grin. Oh, how'd it go for them? Tang San asked. Dubai replied, they only killed a few low-tier beasts, strongest was 4th tier, not even a 5th tier. Way worse than us. I heard they stirred a beast horde, and if the teachers hadn't stepped in, they'd have been wiped out. They didn't even reach the designated target or see the target beast. Tang San said, why do I feel you're gloating? Dubai's face shifted. Me, no way, I'd never. Sure, they used to call me a mascot with no use, but I'm not that petty. Alright, go back. The teachers are probably in a bad mood, don't let them see you like this, Tang San said, exasperated. He'd expected the second team's results to pale compared to theirs. His team had him in Wu Bingji, with stronger overall strength, plus his combat experience far surpassed these kids. Failure on a first outing was predictable, but learning from it wasn't a bad thing. The training debrief came the next day. Unsurprisingly, the second team got a harsh critique. Their account wasn't terrible, but compared to the first team's success, the gap was stark. No significant gains, no target beast, minimal progress, and plenty of fright, but it was real combat experience, and Tang San saw value in that. The third team would train next, for fairness. Knowing teachers accompanied them gave them confidence, which might affect results, but they had to try. Tang San kept a low profile, diligently completing cultivation tasks and homework, studying hard, occasionally forging, and frequently staking out academies. He told teachers he was at the smithy, backed by Zhang Haoshuan, so no one questioned his absences, giving him ample time. But he was frustrated, staking out multiple academies yielded nothing. He wondered if beautiful young master's mother lied, and she wasn't at school. Yet her expression seemed genuine, with no reason to deceive a kid. What to do? He could only keep staking out. Time flew, and even after the third team's training ended, Tang San found no trace of her school. The third team fared better than the second, bolder with teacher escorts and luckier, yielding decent results. Meanwhile, Wu Bingji's injuries healed, and he trained daily. Guli, Dubai, and Chang Zicheng stabilized their breakthroughs. The full training cycle took a month. Though the first team shone brightest, teachers noted, as Tang San predicted, that real combat against strong foes was highly effective. Next was digestion and cultivation to absorb the gains. Another month passed, and Tang San turned 10. Eating demon beast meat in training, he grew significantly, nearly a head taller, less scrawny, with a more appealing look and refined aura. Initially dazzling at the academy, he'd been low-key lately, rarely seen outside classes. Through steady contact with Dubai, Guli, and Chang Zicheng, Tang San gradually raised his imprints, tiers. Golden Punk transformation reached 4th tier, and he tested flying in the back mountains. Time transformation hit 4th tier, Sky Fox transformation peaked at 3rd tier. Higher tier imprints were harder to advance. He couldn't absorb too much bloodline power from his companions, lest it harm their cultivation, so he progressed slowly. His 6 imprints, excluding the negligible Azure Jade Vine, were Wind Tiger transformation from Wind Tiger and Wind Wolf at 6th tier, Flash Leopard at 5th tier, Golden Punk at 4th tier, Time at 4th tier, and Sky Fox at 3rd tier peak. The gains seemed small, but with training and a stronger body, his 6th tier stabilized, the strain fading, a crucial foundation for future growth. Yet Tang San wasn't happy. His steady progress didn't excite him. Not finding beautiful young master weighed heavily. The more academies he staked out, the gloomier he felt. Today was his last mid-tier academy. Would he have to check basic ones? That scope was vast. If that failed, he'd stake out the milk tea shop. She had to return home eventually. Nothing, still nothing. As night fell, he hadn't seen her, and disappointment deepened. Time to head back. Dejected, Tang San returned to the academy town. He pondered possibilities. Where was she studying? He'd staked out all 12 mid-tier academies. Though he'd only watched the last one once, his careful observation made further checks unlikely to yield results. Possibilities included her attending a basic academy, her mother lying about school, or her being elsewhere. Over the month, he visited the milk tea shop several times, never seeing her. Other possibilities. Lost in thought, he climbed toward Jiali Academy's grounds. Suddenly, his spirit stirred, a strange sensation in his heart. His eyes warmed, a fiery feeling sparking odd excitement, his emotions surged. What's this? Lingxi Sky Eye. It was the Sky Eye's effect, not a crisis warning. Sky Fox Eye could observe luck, but at 4th tier, it could slightly control and guide it. Chapter 145, Searching for her through 1,000 places. During the battle with the Winged Tiger, Dubai's breakthrough came from pushing his luck observation into control, achieving 4th tier. Luck came in good and bad forms. As a Sky Fox Eye wielder, Dubai naturally sensed impending misfortune, allowing him to act to avoid it. Tang San hadn't experienced good luck much, having only recently gained Sky Fox Eye. He planned to explore it further once his Sky Fox transformation reached 4th tier, applying it to combat. What was this feeling now? His eyes burned, an inexplicable excitement, good luck approaching. Footsteps echoed from the mountain. Without looking, Tang San knew monsters were coming. He stepped aside. Encountering monsters on this path to Jiali Academy was common, teachers and students used it. Only near the academy would he take a side path to the academy town. Jiali Academy's monsters, mostly nobles, looked down on vassals and rarely bothered them. The town served the academy, so students were generally civil, some even greeting familiar vassals. As Tang San moved aside, monster students descended. Leading was a tall figure, about 2 meters, with thick golden hair and eyes glinting gold. His human-like appearance was striking, only his slit pupils revealing his monster nature. This, before Redemption Academy, Tang San might not have recognized this, but now he knew, a high-tier monster with a powerful bloodline. Such monsters could shapeshift into human form for flexibility and convenience, a tradition among them. Humans, seen as vassals or mates, were thought to carry diluted monster bloodlines, inheriting appearance but not power, a belief stronger among high-tier monsters. This golden-haired youth was eye-catching, followed by a group clearly led by him. But Tang San's focus wasn't on him. Beside the youth was a stunning girl in Jiali Academy's uniform, her long hair flowing, expression cold, beautiful young master, the one he'd sought for days. A phrase flashed in his mind, searching for her through 1,000 places. I turn, and there she is, where the lights dim. Seeing her, his mind exploded with clarity. Her mother hadn't lied. She was at school, not a mid-tier or basic academy, but Jiali City's top institution, Jiali Academy. Instantly, Tang San understood. Beautiful young master was a human vassal. His divine consciousness confirmed it, but he didn't know her demon god transformation. A human vassal walking with a golden bloodline monster, her status evidently high, and her family's milk tea shop in Jiali Square revealed her background. Her father was likely a powerful, high-blooded monster, explaining her status and enrollment at Jiali Academy. As Tang San pieced this together, a shadow loomed, and a large hand grabbed for his face. Staring at His Highness the Prince, a burly figure blocked him, a massive hand aiming for his head. Tang San leapt back, hands pressing forward, wind elements pushing him to dodge. Still dodging, the burly monster student roared, advancing. Enough. A commanding voice halted him. The descending Jiali Academy student stopped. Tang San's gaze remained on beautiful young master. She frowned slightly. The golden-haired student apologized to her. Don't be mad, little bear, let's go. He didn't glance at Tang San, likely sparing the vassal because beautiful young master was human. Her eyes met Tang San's, a flicker of surprise in them, as if he seemed familiar. But with his recent changes, she didn't recognize him. Despite his 3 lifetimes of composure, Tang San felt a fierce urge to drive everyone away and be alone with her. He clenched his fists. The burly, little bear, snorted, watch it, kid. Lower your head. Tang San took a deep breath, suppressing his impulses, and slowly bowed his head. Reason 1. He couldn't fight, not without divine consciousness, and he might not beat these elite students. Even if he did, what then? Would she care for him now? Then, a realization hit, does that golden-haired guy like her? She was only 13 or 14, and these students weren't much older. Early romance. Didn't Jiali Academy care? But she showed no warmth or intimacy toward him, just classmates, surely. Though his heart still churned, this thought calmed Tang San. Best of all, she was close, at Jiali Academy. Seeing her would be easier now. Chapter 146, becoming a sparring partner. A quarter hour later, Big Brother, Tang San burst into Wu Bingji's room, frantic. What's up, little Tang? Why so flustered? Got a new dark weapon technique. Wu Bingji's eyes lit up at the end. He was keen on Tang San's techniques, which greatly aided his ice element control. He mastered the sleeve arrow well. Tang San grinned. Dark weapon techniques are no issue. Big Brother, any sparring tasks for Jiali Academy lately? I want to take one, preferably long-term. You want to spar? Wu Bingji stared, shocked. You're too young. With your cultivation at your age, it's risky to expose. No way, teachers won't agree. Tang San hurried. Big Brother, when have I done anything reckless? I'll be careful. Just get me the simplest sparring task at Jiali Academy. No. Wu Bingji shook his head like a rattle. Forget the teachers, he wouldn't agree. Seeing the second and third teams' poor training results, he valued Tang San more. Though unsure how Tang San knew so much, their team's massive gains, elemental coins and near-universal breakthroughs proved his worth. Wu Bingji planned another outing with him. Tang San didn't hesitate. I'll trade you a new dark weapon technique. Guaranteed powerful. Wu Bingji's brow rose. What technique? Tang San thought, then said, it's complex and takes time to master, but once you do, it's incredible. With it, you could one-shot 6th tier beasts and below. What? Wu Bingji gaped. Me, one-shot 6th tier beasts. At 6th tier himself, with recent progress, he knew human strength couldn't match 6th tier beast physiques. Winning one-on-one was grueling, depending on the beast. Tang San's claim seemed unbelievable, yet his track record made Wu Bingji waver. You're not bluffing. Wu Bingji asked, stunned. How could I? Tang San said, let's test it. I'll demonstrate. My demon god transformations can't use it, only your ice attribute can, with precise control. I plan to teach you to make it shine. Once mastered, we can train again. Even against a winged tiger, we'd hold our own. Really? Show me. At 16 or 17, Wu Bingji's curiosity surged for this wondrous technique. Big Brother, stand up, let's go outside to try, Tang San said. To get to Jiali Academy for beautiful young master, he was all in, ignoring exposure risks. When it came to her, nothing else mattered. Outside, Wu Bingji asked, how do we test? Tang San pointed. Stand 30 meters away. That far. Wu Bingji was surprised. Dark weapons worked best at medium range. At 30 meters, even his ice spikes weakened and mental control faltered. Trust me, Tang San urged, nudging him. They stood 30 meters apart. Tang San scanned. Nobody around. Nearing dinner time. Taking a deep breath, his eyes flashed cyan. A cyan glow formed in his right hand, wind elements gathering into a deepening cyan orb. Wind Gang. After absorbing Winged Tiger's bloodline, his Wind Wolf's Wind Blade evolved into Wind Gang, the tiger's higher tier power overtaking it. Yet Wind Wolf's monster lineage stabilized it, making his Wind Gang steadier than the tiger's. As the orb darkened, Wu Bingji watched, amazed. Tang San usually didn't need such long prep for compressed wind blades, but now he took over 10 seconds. Big Brother, use Ice Shield, 3 layers. Then Ice Elemental Body, Tang San instructed. His cyan glow split into 2 orbs. Got it. Knowing Tang San's skill, Wu Bingji didn't hesitate, forming 3 ice shields and entering his strongest defensive Ice Elemental Body state. Tang San's eyes blazed, and he flung the 2 orbs. They shot through the air with a faint whistle, heading for Wu Bingji. Wu Bingji wondered if Tang San planned a wind element explosion. Possible, but Wind's cutting was stronger and faster than these orbs. What was he doing? As the orbs neared, Wu Bingji braced. Whatever the technique, it'd reveal itself. Bang, bang, the orbs hit his first ice shield. No explosion, instead, they bounced off. That's it, Wu Bingji blurted, feeling no impact. Then, a strange sight, the orbs arced in the air, colliding. Pop, both shattered, and instantly, thousands of cyan beams erupted, filling the space before Wu Bingji. He ducked instinctively, hearing rapid puff-puff sounds on his shields. Soon, he felt stabs of pain. Retreating, he reinforced his ice defense. When the sound stopped, he looked, gasping. His 3 shields were riddled with holes, yet oddly intact. His clothes were tattered, pain prickling his body. Chapter 147, Mother-Child Soul-Chasing Life-Taking Gall. Had Wu Bingji's ice elemental body not been so defensive, that attack would have turned him into a sieve. This is a dark weapon technique. Wu Bingji stood frozen, his heart reeling with shock. Tang San approached, whispering, Big Brother, you okay? Wu Bingji looked up, eyes full of awe. How'd you do that? He stammered. Tang San grinned. Control, elemental control. Pretty awesome, right, too awesome. 30 meters with that power. What kind of magical technique is this? Wu Bingji's throat felt dry, his eyes gleaming. Let's go back to talk, Tang San said, pulling him to his room. Wu Bingji's odd appearance shouldn't be seen by others. In Wu Bingji's room, Tang San closed the door and grinned. This is a dark weapon technique I developed this month. It's not at its best with me, wind elements aren't ideal. I realized too late, but with you, Big Brother, the power would be incredible. Tell me the trick, Wu Bingji urged eagerly. Tang San said, it's called Mother-Child Soul-Chasing Life-Taking Gall. Those 2 orbs you saw, those are the Mother Galls. The real killing move is hidden inside. Remember when I said compressing ice spikes into ice needles boosts your ranged attack, piercing tough defenses, even monster hides? Yeah, I can use ice needles now, their penetration is strong, Wu Bingji said excitedly. It was his recent breakthrough, and compressing ice elements into needles had greatly aided his cultivation and ice control. He truly admired Tang San. This technique builds on ice needles, Tang San continued. The Mother Gall hides tons of them. I lack ice control, so I use wind needles. But wind needles can't match ice needles penetration. Plus, if your mental strength connects, compressed ice needles can explode inside enemies for secondary damage. Imagine that power. Wu Bingji gasped. Like that? You mean an ice element shell wraps tons of ice needles, you throw them, they collide, and explode at a distance. How's that possible? He trailed off, recalling Tang San's demonstration. It had happened, how could it be impossible? Tang San smiled. Don't rush, Big Brother. There's a trick. Your ice elements are stronger than my wind, so it's harder to execute. This technique takes time to master, but follow my method step by step, and you'll get it once you do. Can't it one-shot 6th tier beasts? Wu Bingji blinked, estimating ice needle power. The Mother Gall's burst speeds up the needles, like an explosive boost. Tang San nodded. Exactly. It depends on your ice explosion technique. It's different from wind, but I've planned it out. We'll take it slow. Wu Bingji's mouth twitched, but the teachers won't let you go to Jiali Academy. You're too young. He knew Tang San's technique wasn't free, his goal was clear. Tang San said, I'll handle Master Zhang. Just find me a way in, one the teachers will likely approve. Wu Bingji sighed. You always surprise me, no idea what you're up to this time. Let me think, tomorrow I'll tell you. Alright, no rush, I trust you, Big Brother. I'll teach you the basics of Mother-Child Soul-Chasing Life-Taking Gall today. We'll start there, Tang San said readily, not waiting for Wu Bingji's help first. Good, Wu Bingji didn't hold back, genuinely intrigued. Tang San said, remember the sleeve arrow I taught you? We'll start with an enhanced version, the foundation of this technique. Enhanced sleeve arrow, Wu Bingji asked, curious. Tang San nodded. How far can your sleeve arrow ice needles maintain power? Wu Bingji thought. Within 30 meters, full power. Beyond 20 more, it weakens, and compressed ice becomes unstable. Within 30, I can detonate needles inside enemies. Tang San nodded. This enhanced version extends that by at least 20 meters and makes detonation easier. How? Wu Bingji's eyes lit up. This was a practical power boost. Tang San explained, use ice explosion technique. Add an ice orb behind the needle. You can control within 30 meters, right. At that range, detonate the orb to propel the needle, boosting its piercing power. It may not detonate the needle, but compressed needles are unstable. Hitting or piercing an enemy can trigger their own explosion, depending on compression. Wu Bingji paused. Will that work? How do you ensure the orb's explosion pushes forward? Tang San grinned. That's the trick. Wrap the orb in an ice ring, like a cylinder. The orb explodes inside, energy releasing forward and backward. Block the back, and it only goes forward. Try it in your hand first, you'll see. You can even flatten the needle's tail, like an ice spikes, for direct thrust. Like that. Wu Bingji stared, stunned. How's your brain wired? 3 lifetimes of experience, Tang San thought. The mother-child soul-chasing life-taking doll was a top-tier metal dark weapon in his past life. His wind-based version was modified, and he hadn't used wind gang for the needles, or Wu Bingji wouldn't have withstood it. Chapter 148, Secondary Acceleration. Executing the mother-child soul-chasing life-taking doll with technique was undoubtedly challenging. Even with Tang San's liquid mental strength and past life experience, it required significant charging time. For Wu Bingji to master it would be no easy feat. However, ice elements were indeed easier to work with than wind, as Tang San hadn't misled him. Ice was more stable, being solid, and with ice explosion techniques traits, it was more feasible to execute, though it required gradual practice. Tang San's secondary acceleration method for ice needles drew inspiration from his past world's missile launching mechanics. Theoretically, it was sound. The ice ring base must be stable, with the inner ice orb independent. You need to detonate only the orb, not the base. The ice needle's tail must fit perfectly with the ice ring, no gaps, so the thrust fully acts on the needle. You also need to counter the recoil when detonating. Got it? Tang San explained further. I get the gist. Wu Bingji nodded. He was sharp and grasped the concept from Tang San's description. Here, I'll show you without combat power for clarity, Tang San said, extending his right hand. A wind needle formed, followed by a small wind orb behind it, encased in a wind base. The needle's tail expanded, sealing the base's gaps. Watch closely. Tang San detonated the wind orb. Whoosh, the needle shot forward, leaving a dent in the wall. His technique clearly displayed the principle. Again, Tang San said, forming another propelled wind needle. He flicked it, and at 3 meters, the tail flashed, the orb detonating. The already fast needle accelerated again, piercing a small hole in the wall. Wu Bingji gasped, seeing the secondary acceleration's feasibility. He trusted his compressed ice needle's penetration. With secondary acceleration, their power would far surpass Tang San's wind needle. This alone was a groundbreaking dark weapon technique, let alone the full mother-child doll. Imagine multiple ice needles hidden in an ice orb, exploding to propel them with secondary acceleration, terrifying penetration at greater range. If calculated right, needles could detonate inside enemies. The power was unimaginable. Wu Bingji's eyes blazed, practically salivating. Tang San, this. Tang San chuckled. No need to thank me, this suits you best, big brother. Master the enhanced ice needle first, then we'll move to the next step. It's simple to form but needs speed, depending on your ice control. With your ice defense, you'll get it soon. Faster formation, more needles, stronger combat power. Got it, Wu Bingji nodded eagerly. He focused on mastering this acceleration, not yet the full goal. I'll head out. See you at the cafeteria, Tang San said. He was confident in persuading Zhang Haoshuan, who knew his secrets. Claiming he wanted to observe Jiali Academy's monster abilities for suitable bloodlines should work. He'd proven his self-preservation and maturity. Teaching Wu Bingji wasn't just for help, it was to boost their team's strength. Chang Zicheng and Guli's chaotic cloak hammer needed long practice. Dubai had purple demon eye, and Wu Bingji's ice talent made enhancing his control the best way to boost his combat power. A 7th tier Wu Bingji would be transformative. Next morning, Wu Bingji quietly shared a plan. Sparring was impossible, Tang San's age made suspicion likely. But entering Jiali Academy differently was feasible. The town served the academy, under Zhang Haoshuan's control. If not sparring, cleaning was an option. You want to observe? Zhang Haoshuan asked that afternoon when Tang San visited. Yes, to find a suitable demon god transformation. I'm 6th tier now, ready for another. Stronger bloodlines mean stronger power, Tang San said. Zhang Haoshuan frowned. You sure you can handle higher tier transformations? He'd seen Tang San's mostly low tier ones. Tang San smiled. I can, and I can swap them. He didn't hide from Zhang Haoshuan, who knew his biggest secret. Sharing more ensured better cooperation. His divine consciousness and Sky Fox Eye confirmed Zhang Haoshuan's trustworthiness, or the redemption organization would have taken him away. Zhang Haoshuan looked surprised. Freeze. Tang San called softly. Zhang Haoshuan stiffened, eyes widening. This, time transformation. Guli's, you. He stared, stunned, feeling breathless. Tang San grinned. Spending time with brother Guli, I learned it replaced my heavy armor technique. Zhang Haoshuan gasped. Time transformation was a 2nd tier bloodline, top tier in the redemption organization. Tang San mastering it meant he could handle high tier abilities. As Zhang Haoshuan reeled, orange-red light flashed behind Tang San. 2 glowing wings unfurled, lifting him with airflow. Golden Punk transformation. Chapter 149, settled. Zhang Haoshuan instinctively clenched his fist as Tang San retracted his demon god transformation, standing before him again. So, Jiali Academy must have powerful monster bloodlines. I want to observe and maybe learn. You understand, Tang San said, his face full of longing. Zhang Haoshuan's breathing grew heavy. Logic tells me I should report this to the organization, protecting you is our greatest asset. Do you know how disruptive what you just did is to this world, especially for humans? Tang San looked at him earnestly. Master, I've already shared the cultivation method with you. It's not me that's precious, it's the mysterious heaven treasure record. No one knows its origin, so I need to experiment to find its limits. Only then can we make it better suit humans, giving us a chance to rise. Zhang Haoshuan closed his eyes, murmuring, do you know what it means if your secret is exposed? Tang San smiled faintly. I thought about that. If I'm discovered, I'm just one person. Whether they kill me or I end myself, I'd never reveal a word of the record. Only we two know it. I'll hide it as best I can, and I need you to help me keep it secret. Even if I die, 10 or 100 years later, when redemption grows stronger, we can slowly train more powerhouses. But even then, the record mustn't be exposed, or it'll be humanity's disaster. Zhang Haoshuan nodded silently. This was why he hadn't reported the record. Once reported, it'd be out of his control. If the organization trained more humans with it, exposure was nearly certain, spelling doom for humanity. You're too clever for a 10-year-old, so mature, Zhang Haoshuan said seriously. I've wondered if you're heaven's savior for humanity or a monster spy. I lean toward the former, the latter's unlikely. Even among monsters, you'd be a top genius, they wouldn't risk you spying. I'll do everything to protect you, but you must promise to protect yourself. You're vital to humanity. Don't worry, I value my life, Tang San said, thinking, after dying twice already, alright, tell me your plan. I'll cooperate. Observe, but don't act rashly. Got the town lord. Tang San didn't know how Zhang Haoshuan convinced the other teachers, but Wu Bingji soon informed him he could work at Jiali Academy. 3 days a week, his job was simple, sweeping courtyards. The other 4 days, he'd study and train at Redemption Academy. If he went on combat training, someone else would cover his sweeping. Zhang Haoshuan had arranged everything perfectly. After the 3 training groups, students were now reflecting and consolidating with tailored guidance. Redemption had no immediate training plans. A cycle Tang San approved of. Consolidation followed by more training was ideal. Though taller, at 10, Tang San was still about 1.5 meters, tiny next to helping monsters. He wore the Academy Town's uniform, work attire for Jiali Academy. 3 days after his request, Tang San followed Zhang Haoshuan into Jiali City's premier academy. As a support worker, he entered through a side gate, not the main entrance, used by all rear service staff. Inside, Tang San sensed a solemn atmosphere, with denser spiritual energy than outside. Little Tang, remember, Jiali Academy holds high status in Jiali City, Zhang Haoshuan said quietly. Not just local nobles' children study here, many from other major clans come too. There are numerous powerhouses, including god level ones. Be cautious in your work, understand. Tang San nodded repeatedly, grasping the warning. Jiali Academy was vast, divided into 3 zones. The first was the teaching area, with 6 buildings of varying sizes for different classes. The second was the living area, where students were required to reside, allowed 1 3-day leave monthly with permission. The third was the training area, with multiple zones for different cultivation needs. High-end shops, similar to Redemption Store but far superior, were there too. Tang San realized his past encounters with beautiful young master were during her leave, helping at the milk tea shop. His work was in the teaching area, sweeping a 10,000 square meter plaza in front of the main building, twice daily, morning and afternoon, with weekly cleaning, which was more tiring. Zhang Haoshuan led him behind a grove to a row of low houses, hidden from view. He knocked on a door, and a hunched old man emerged. Uncle Mao, Zhang Haoshuan said politely. Town Lord, come in, the old man, Mao, said with a smile. Zhang Haoshuan declined. I won't stay. This is the kid I mentioned. Please assign him work. I'll head back. His name's Tang San. Call him Little Tang. Little Tang, meet Uncle Mao. Hello, Grandpa, Tang San said, bowing respectfully. No, Grandpa, here. Call me Old Mao. No family titles, got it. Mao said, eyeing Tang San. Tang San nodded quickly. Yes, Old Mao. Mao turned to Zhang Haoshuan. Go on, I'll handle the kid. If he behaves, he'll be fine. Zhang Haoshuan nodded. Thank you. Little Tang, Old Mao's been here decades and knows the place well. Follow his orders and return to town after work. Yes, thank you, Town Lord, Tang San said. Zhang Haoshuan left. Mao said coolly, come in. Chapter 150, Sweeping Little Tang. Tang San followed Old Mao into the low house, where the interior was starkly simple. One side held brooms, buckets, and tools, the other had a table and rickety stools. Old Mao sat on a stool, eyeing Tang San. You know what this place is working here means the Town Lord trusts you. But you must follow rules, not just for you, but for everyone in our town. The academy staff are restrained, but if you provoke them, it's our death sentence. Not just yours, but you drag everyone down. Yes, Tang San replied. Old Mao said coolly, remember, don't speak. Work like a mute, keep your head down, don't look. Don't see, don't hear, don't talk. Think what you want, I don't care. Most importantly, don't cause trouble for me or anyone else. Do that, and you can stay. Otherwise, you're out. I didn't want you, you're too young, prone to trouble, but the Town Lord vouched for you. Prove it. Yes, listening to Old Mao's lecture, Tang San felt a strange amusement. A former god king being scolded was a novel experience. He wasn't upset, he understood Old Mao's caution was for the human vassals in the academy town. In the fairy continent, Old Mao's approach wasn't wrong, it was wise. Let's go, I'll show you your work area. You start today, Old Mao said, having Tang San grab tools and leading him out. Jiali Academy's main teaching building was grand, over 50 meters tall with only 5 floors, visible even from the academy town. The academy housed over 1,000 students across 6 grades, with no fixed duration per grade. Students advanced by passing semi-annual exams. Strong enough, one could graduate in 3 years, otherwise, some never would. Not all students graduated. The plaza before the main building was vast and open, paved with polished stone and patterns of the 10 strongest monster clans, no trace of spirit clans. Old Mao pointed out Tang San's cleaning area. Don't get clever. Whatever your demon god transformation, don't use it while working. Stay human and clean diligently. Go back to our side for lunch, then resume work. Sweep twice daily, but clean any dirt you see immediately. After instructions, Old Mao signaled Tang San to start. Tang San began sweeping along the plaza's edge, with Old Mao watching to ensure he could handle the job. Tang San wasn't here to work for money but to see beautiful young master. He swept steadily, maintaining a consistent pace. Old Mao observed for a bit, satisfied with Tang San's calm, unhurried demeanor. Half an hour later, Old Mao left. Tang San continued slowly. The work was dull, but that didn't bother him. To his delight, the plaza's spiritual energy was dense, likely due to an academy array. Sweeping, he ran mysterious heaven technique, absorbing the energy to nourish his body, a form of cultivation. Unhurried, he swept and cultivated. Post-dragon tendon fruit, his body had changed significantly. He now used mysterious heaven technique to temper it, no longer hiding his strength by staying frail. The morning passed sweeping. When Old Mao returned, he found the plaza nearly spotless, with Tang San clearing the last of the debris. Took you that long to sweep? Old Mao asked, surprised. Tang San wiped his brow, smiling. I cleaned leaves and weeds from the bushes too. Had to be done. Go eat, Old Mao said. The academy's food for workers was basic, far worse than Redemption's. Zhang Haoshuan had suggested bringing his own, but Tang San didn't. Standing out would raise questions. During lunch, Old Mao and Tang San stayed silent. After eating, Tang San cleaned the dishes, then sat in a corner, meditating cross-legged. 2 hours later, he grabbed his broom and tools, returning to the plaza to sweep again. Old Mao, noting Tang San's quiet habits, softened his gaze. The job was light, sweeping took 2 hours, afternoons even less. But Tang San had spent nearly 4 hours that morning and resumed after a short break, impressing Old Mao with his diligence. He didn't know Tang San lingered to spot someone. That morning, Tang San hadn't seen beautiful young master. Few monster students crossed the plaza, only passing by. He wasn't anxious, knowing she studied here was enough. The academy was contained, he'd see her eventually. By evening, Old Mao's inspection revealed a pristine plaza, not a speck of dirt. Even the surrounding plants were trimmed, giving a harmonious feel. In his past life, Tang San's main martial soul was Blue Silver Grass, later Blue Silver Emperor, the king of plants. He had a natural affinity for them, why he chose Azure Jade Vine for his 6th imprint, hoping it would grow to let him use past life abilities, his most familiar ones. Chapter 151, How to Cultivate the Sky Fox Eye. While tending to the plaza's plants, Tang San naturally activated his Azure Jade Vine to absorb their unique life energy, nourishing its imprint. He was less attentive to his Lingxi Sky Eye. Unlike his other imprints, which couldn't feed on ambient energy, the low-tier Azure Jade Vine grew vibrant as he infused it with life energy. This wasn't a bloodline tier boost but a pure enhancement of the imprint's life energy. Tang San wasn't sure of the outcome but wanted to try. With no Spirit Clan students here, raising the Azure Jade Vine's tier was tough. He needed to learn more about this world's plants. Through the vine's connection to ordinary plants, he gained insights, much like after consuming the dragon tendon fruit. By late afternoon, Tang San's work ended. He bid Old Mao farewell, heading back to the academy town. Leaving his lodging, he walked toward the back gate, passing the training area. He slowed deliberately, glancing around. With Lingxi Sky Eye and Purple Demon Eye, he saw and memorized everything clearly. He hoped to spot her, but his luck seemed off today, no sign of her. As he reached the back gate, disappointment rising, a thought struck him. The Sky Fox Eye sensed luck, and at 4th tier, Dubai could somewhat control it. If Tang San raised his Sky Fox transformation to 4th tier, could he manipulate luck to see beautiful young master as he wished? His eyes lit up. No wonder the Sky Fox Eye was a top-tier bloodline. Its uses were vast. If the Sky Fox Great Demon Emperor knew someone planned to use it to get close to a girl, he'd be livid. Excited by the idea, Tang San decided to get closer to Dubai. Back at the academy, he caught dinner. His Jiali Academy work wasn't a secret, though the teachers didn't detail it to others. Since arriving, especially after the training, Tang San had integrated into the group, particularly close with his team. Sitting by Dubai, he ate and said, "Come to my room later." Got it. Dubai nodded, giving Tang San a curious look, eyes sparkling. The more his mental strength grew, the stronger Dubai's affinity for Tang San became. His Sky Fox Eye told him staying close to Tang San brought great benefits. He'd always felt this way. Strong affinity meant help, dislike signaled trouble or a bad person. Wu Bingji finished dinner first, always pressed for time, immersed in training. Even ice needle acceleration was tough, let alone the mother-child gall. His biggest issue was mental strength. He'd spent heavily on a rare, costly spirit-enhancing treasure, emptying his savings and causing him grief. Yesterday, he told Tang San that once he mastered acceleration, he'd train again. He was broke. Not just Wu Bingji, Tang San's team all wanted another outing, their first haul too lucrative. Those gains let them buy strength-boosting items, creating a virtuous cycle for faster progress. Guli felt it deeply. Yesterday, he used Chaotic Cloak Hammer to defeat Zhang Zeben, Shining. His 5th tier time transformations control, plus Tail Hammer's sustained attacks, made him a top fighter in the academy. What's up? Dubai asked in Tang San's room. Something good. Tang San smiled. What more do you want? Just wondering how your mental strength's progressing. How long till it's fully liquid? Dubai rolled his eyes. Liquid mental strength isn't easy. Even Teacher Guan and the new teachers haven't done it. I'm only 4th tier. But practicing your purple demon eye makes my mental strength condense solidly, easing liquefaction. Too bad the purple chi sunrise is so short. Tang San said, don't rush. Purple demon eye needs gradual nurturing. Your eyes can't handle long purple chi exposure. Sustained mental growth is great for you. Want to try another method? Dubai blinked. What method? Tang San said, depletion. Exhaust your mental strength fully, then recover. It might boost faster than normal training. It should work for you and Brother Guli. What do I do? Dubai asked, troubled. Brother Guli can deplete by using time transformation, but my Sky Fox Eye is mostly passive. Boosting luck normally only does so much. I can't disrupt luck explosively like last time without strong stimulation to overexert. Tang San nodded. So, strong external stimuli amplify your Sky Fox Eye, like making your luck spike. But it leaves you weak, like when you fainted last time, right? Pretty much, Dubai said. Fainting was from overexertion. Last time was intense, but recovering after breaking through to 4th tier sped things up, or it'd have been slower. Tang San thought, we could try something, like, if you're near death, would that stimulate it? Dubai froze. Near death, I don't know. Tang San's eyes flashed, and Dubai suddenly felt a sting in his eyes. What was happening? Chapter 152, helping Dubai cultivate. The next moment, Tang San's right hand shot out, grabbing Dubai's forehead. Dubai shivered, his body stiffening. A suction force from Tang San's hand felt like it was stripping something from him, an intense sense of mortal danger flooding his senses, as if death loomed. Ah, Dubai gasped, but Tang San's other hand muffled his throat. He stared at Tang San in disbelief. Illusions gripped Dubai, his mental sea seemed frozen, overwhelming fear signaling death's approach. No, impossible, little Tang wouldn't harm me. Tang San's eyes narrowed, closely observing Dubai's changes. He hadn't lied, cultivating Sky Fox Eye was tough for Dubai, a human with impure, weaker bloodline inheritance. Unlocking its potential and advancing required strong mental power and bloodline stimulation, like the intense trigger that pushed Dubai to 4th tier. Without it, he might have stayed 3rd tier forever. Tang San silently sensed Dubai's bloodline changes, not actively devouring but studying Sky Fox Eye's reaction under life-threatening pressure. This insight was more valuable than absorbing bloodline power. Unlike other bloodlines, Tang San's Sky Fox advancement from 2nd to 3rd tier came from merging with Lingxi Heart Eye, sparking an epiphany, not devouring Dubai's power. Dubai's eyes glowed white, the light intensifying. As Tang San pressured his life force, he felt his blood flow falter, his mysterious heaven technique wavering, as if misfortune loomed. His eyes burned and stung, Lingxi Sky Eye activated on its own. To his surprise, a 3-foot white luck pillar rose above Dubai's head, fragile and flickering. Tang San released his mental power, sensing his own 2-foot luck pillar, denser than Dubai's. The pillars clashed, pulled, and repelled, vying for dominance. Luck, this must be a clash of luck. Strong luck often brought gains, even in cultivation, alongside raw power. Under Tang San's pressure, Dubai's luck struggled and erupted, trying to alter fate. Without Tang San's own Sky Fox Eye, his luck would have been heavily disrupted. A 4th tier affecting a 6th tier showed Sky Fox Eye's potency. A faint smile crossed Tang San's face. He understood. Sky Fox Eye boosted the host's luck. Condensing luck strengthened it, associating with high luck individuals enhanced one's own, even absorbing theirs. Activating Sky Fox Eye triggered a luck burst, improving fortune but weakening mental strength. Used on others, it led luck, boosting theirs briefly, as Dubai did against the winged tiger. Realizing this, Tang San slowly released Dubai, subtly absorbing some bloodline power. As he let go, he mimicked Dubai's luck changes, merging their luck pillars instead of suppressing. The entwined pillars soared to 5 feet. Tang San felt elated, a strong confidence surging. He'd see beautiful young master tomorrow. The feeling was mystical yet real. Huff, huff, Dubai panted, glaring angrily. Trying to kill me. He paused, blinking at Tang San. Little Tang, why do you look better? And, I feel like what you did helped me a lot. What's going on? Tang San sensed their fused luck's effect, and so did Dubai. This is the pressure I mentioned, Tang San said. Strong external stimuli trigger your Sky Fox Eye. Such bursts tap your bloodline's deepest potential, enhancing it now. Retract your Sky Fox Eye and feel it. Tang San quietly recalled his luck pillar. Dubai couldn't see them, perhaps because Tang San's was Lingxi Sky Eye, fused with Heart Eye, or his stronger mental power. Their experiences differed starkly. Tang San felt vibrant, his Sky Fox Eye nearing 4th tier, boosted by Dubai's luck. Tomorrow's luck would be strong. Dubai felt weak, swaying until Tang San steadied him. Yes, this feeling, my mental strength strained, Dubai said. You're amazing, little Tang. After I recover, my mental strength might improve. Even teachers couldn't devise this method, I'm in awe. Tang San thought, teachers don't have Sky Fox Eye to guide you. I'm just experimenting. He wanted Dubai to advance quickly. Dubai's breakthroughs meant his own were close. At 6th tier, his Sky Fox Eye had vast growth potential. He sensed that higher tiers would make Sky Fox Eye terrifying. 4th tier could alter personal luck. 5th, 6th, 12th, it might shift a race or nation's fate. The Sky Fox Great Demon Emperor's top 3 status relied on this. Smiling faintly, Tang San sent Dubai to his room to meditate, then returned to his own. Chapter 153, Good Luck arrives. This cultivation method benefited both Dubai and Tang San. 2 Sky Fox Eye users training together, their luck complementing each other, was far more effective than solo practice. As long as Tang San kept his Sky Fox Eye slightly weaker than Dubai's, he could ride his progress. He'd need to add this to his daily routine. If it worked for Dubai, it'd work for Guli too. Time transformation was easier to advance than Sky Fox Eye, just absorbing Guli's bloodline power would do morning. After breakfast, as dawn broke, Tang San and Dubai stood on a hillside outside Redemption Academy, gazing east to cultivate Purple Demon Eye. After a night's rest, Dubai's spirit had mostly recovered. During the purple chi sunrise, a faint purple tint glowed in his eyes, a sign he'd entered Purple Demon Eye's basics. With Sky Fox Eye's aid, his progress was faster than most. As the sun rose, they stopped. Dubai turned to Tang San. It's different. I feel my Sky Fox Eye improved a bit. Not as dramatic as my last breakthrough, but definite progress. Before, no matter how I trained, Sky Fox advanced slowly, without this feeling. Thanks, little Tang. Tang San smiled. Glad it helps. Keep practicing Purple Demon Eye, it'll be key for survival. I'm off to work at Jiali Academy. Bidding Dubai farewell, Tang San descended the hill. With his work permit from yesterday, he passed the back gates inspection and entered Jiali Academy. Perhaps due to last night's luck guidance, today felt different, the sunlight seemed brighter. Luck, oh luck, help me out. At the low house, Old Mao had just finished breakfast. Seeing Tang San, he showed a rare smile. Little Tang, you did well yesterday. Keep it up. Last night, the Academy's Dean of Discipline praised your cleaning. Thank you, Old Mao. All thanks to your guidance, Tang San said humbly. Old Mao patted his shoulder. Every trade has its master. Work hard. Tang San's mouth twitched, but he hid it, agreeing aloud. Taking his tools, he headed to the main teaching building's plaza. Old Mao didn't follow today. Being praised first thing meant his luck was good. Since yesterday's thorough cleaning, today's sweep was easier. Normally, he'd work one day, rest one, but this first week was probationary, requiring daily work to prove his competence. If successful, he'd start the work-rest cycle next week. Beautiful young master, beautiful young master, beautiful young master. Tang San swept, silently praying. After the morning's work, he still hadn't seen her. Guess my luck's not that great. He couldn't force it, though, and felt helpless. But cultivating here was excellent. The spiritual energy was the densest he'd encountered. Absorbing it while sweeping nourished his body. His mysterious heaven technique synergized well with spiritual and life energy. After a day and a half, his azure jade vine imprint, combined with plant life energy, grew noticeably active, even showing signs of stirring despite its low tier. At noon, Tang San returned to the low house for lunch and rest. While meditating, an urgent shout came from outside. Old Mao. Old Mao, coming. Old Mao, napping at the table, stood quickly, swaying from dizziness. Tang San, hearing the call, stood and steadied him. Old Mao glanced at him, nodded, and went outside. A burly man waited anxiously. Seeing Old Mao, he waved. Hurry up, the dean's inspecting the training area today. You and your people cleaned it, now you've got just over an hour. Move. Yes, we'll go now. Little Tang, grab the tools. I'll gather the others. The low house wasn't just for Old Mao and Tang San. Each room held 2 people, used for rest and tool storage. Old Mao rallied a dozen workers, grabbing cleaning tools and heading to the training area. Familiar with Jiali Academy, Old Mao swiftly assigned tasks, delegating cleaning duties. Little Tang, you're new and unfamiliar. Follow me, we'll clean the demon battle zone. From the academy map, Tang San knew the demon battle zone was for student combat practice, covering a large area. Following Old Mao, he soon reached it. The demon battle zone was a circular, or rather ring-shaped, building with ground and underground levels. Entering, Tang San sensed a powerful energy array, with walls faintly pulsing with energy. A combat area for monster students needed strong defenses, or it'd have been demolished long ago. The demon battle zone is big, Old Mao said. We usually clean here, so regular sweeping's not needed. Focus on overlooked spots, doorframe tops, window corners. Carry a water bucket, follow me, and move fast. If we don't finish, we're in trouble. His tone was quicker than yesterday, showing urgency. Tang San had no objections, carrying a bucket and cleaning as directed. He worked quickly and thoroughly. Old Mao, watching Tang San's efficiency, relaxed. They'd make it. He grew more satisfied with this child. Zhang Haoxuan's recommendation was spot on. They started with the ring-shaped corridor, a loop around the inner battle area. Old Mao explained as they worked. The upper level's open-air battlefield, 15,000 square meters, hosted multiple large-scale fights. The underground level had smaller, isolated areas for one-on-one or small group training. In just over half an hour, Tang San's swift cleaning finished the outer ring. The area's usual hygiene standards were high, with few neglected spots. Inside, Old Mao said, leading Tang San through a side door. Unguarded, the heavy door opened, revealing stronger energy fluctuations. Inside the academy's largest demon battle zone, 2 groups of monster students were fighting. As Tang San stepped in, he knew his luck had arrived. Chapter 154, Beautiful Young Master, Peacock Transformation. Tang San spotted Beautiful Young Master almost instantly among the 2 groups of 7. Her group had only her as a human, the rest were monsters. 2 in her group were familiar, the burly, little bear, who threatened him, and the golden-haired male monster. Seeing her, Tang San's gaze locked. Today, she wore a fitted cyan outfit, accentuating her slender frame, her long hair tied in a ponytail. She stood at the back. What struck Tang San was her change. Her usual black hair was now peacock blue, vibrant and flowing with her movements. She held a slender sword with peacock feathers at its end. Peacock plume. Tang San stared, a spark flashing through his mind. He recalled Guan Longzhong's words. Jiali City was ruled by a powerful clan, once mighty in the ancestral court until their emperor died without a successor, weakening them. Still, their current patriarch, a demon king, governed Jiali City, one of the 7 main monster cities. The Peacock Demon Clan. Jiali City's lord was the Peacock Great Demon King. Her change revealed her demon god transformation, the Peacock, king of birds. Her bloodline came from the city lord's lineage. Everything clicked. Her mother's milk tea shop in Jiali Square, her enrollment in Jiali Academy, the monsters, restraint toward her, all because of her bloodline. She carried the Peacock Demon Clan's heritage, likely the purest from the Peacock Great Demon King, granting her access to Jiali Academy. Smack. A sharp pain hit Tang San's head. Old Mao growled, what are you staring at? Work. Oh. Tang San nodded, looking away. In that brief glance, he'd seen her strength. At the back, she wielded her peacock plume, shooting tiny feathers to attack and disrupt enemies from afar, creating openings for her team. When foes tried closing in, her teammates defended fiercely, giving no chance. She seemed the team's core. Her team's golden-haired youth, now burly yet human-shaped, radiated golden light from his hair. His massive palm struck with immense force, posing a huge threat. Golden Lion Clan, a direct heir of the lion's golden bloodline, impressive. This youth was at least 8th tier. Beautiful Young Master felt 7th tier to Tang San. Such powerful bloodlines. Both teams averaged 7th tier, with only the leaders at 8th tier. Tang San saw only so much in his short look. Old Mao would snap if he stared longer. But seeing her here thrilled him. Luck. Sky Fox Eye is amazing. She didn't notice a sweeping little Tang. Their battle continued. Tang San stole glances while cleaning, memorizing her. Her peacock transformation changed little. Only her hair and eyes turned peacock blue, stunningly vibrant, adding heroic charm. Such minimal change marked a high-tier demon god transformation. If she inherited the Peacock Great Demon King's bloodline, her peacock transformation was 1st tier, like Sky Fox transformation. No wonder her status among monsters. She was the first human Tang San saw with high monster clan status. The battle was fierce, but Tang San's glances caught only fragments. Her team was stronger, her plumes, part physical, part energy, powerful and precise. The Golden Lion used 8th tier strength absorbed most enemy attacks, creating winning chances. The gap in strength ended the spar quickly, with her team victorious. They gathered, discussing something. Tang San swept quickly, stealing glances while turning, focusing on her and the Golden Lion youth. He wasn't worried about anything between them, her age wouldn't allow it. But he disliked her near any standout male. The Golden Lion youth, about Wu Bingji's age, was 8th tier with undeniable talent and potential. Thankfully, she remained cold and distant to all, her teammates respectful. The Golden Lion youth didn't approach her closely, easing Tang San's mind. I need to get stronger, faster. Jealousy was a sin, he admitted, envying their proximity. It fueled his drive to grow stronger. If that youth liked her, could Tang San even beat him? After their discussion, her group left, and the demon battle zone quieted. Tang San finished cleaning within time and left with old Mao, returning to the low house. His afternoon plaza sweeping wasn't cancelled by the extra task. Sweeping, his mind replayed her peacock transformation's grace, that peacock blew so beautiful. She was only in her teens, what would her beauty be when grown? Seeing her was wonderful, Skyfox Eye's luck worked wonders. He'd trained with Dubai again, aiming for 4th tier to boost his luck, despite the weakness it'd cause. As sweeping little Tang, a bit of weakness didn't matter, especially with his strong liquid mental strength, far less effective than Dubai. The afternoon sweep was light. As Tang San prepared to finish, his heart stirred. He looked up instinctively. Beautiful young master, her hair back to black, hurried toward the academy gate. She's leaving. Chapter 155, beautiful young master's sense of familiarity. Wearing Jiali Academy's uniform, beautiful young master walked alone, her black hair cascading behind her, radiating a unique glow, at least in Tang San's eyes. He froze mid-sweep, staring intently. Emotions surged within him, how he longed to rush over and embrace her. His lips pressed tightly, eyes misting slightly. This was his first time seeing her alone, without others, as if Jiali Academy became their backdrop. Sweeping little Tang gazed at his past life love, his reborn devotion, hands trembling faintly. Skyfox Eye's luck was true to its promise. As she walked toward the gate, she paused, sensing something, and turned toward Tang San. Their eyes met. She froze, a flicker of confusion in her gaze. Then, to his shock, she walked toward him. Overwhelmed, Tang San, a man of 3 lifetimes, felt breathless. His heart raced, its pounding almost unbelievable to him. What's wrong with me? She's coming, what do I do? He wanted to lower his head, as sweeping little Tang should, but his eyes couldn't leave her. She stopped 2 meters away, her melodious voice ringing out. Have I seen you before? Tang San froze, mouth opening, but no sound came. I'm asking you, she said, frowning, her tone assertive. I bought milk tea, Tang San managed, catching his breath. Oh, her eyes shifted, realization dawning. It's you, you've changed a bit. Compared to their last meeting, Tang San had grown taller, gained weight, and looked healthier, no longer so frail. Yeah, eating more lately, he blurted out. She nodded. Remember, don't stare at students here. Some have bad tempers, you'll get in trouble, got it. Got it thanks, Tang San replied. She murmured, so you work here. Alright, that's it. She turned and walked toward the gate. Beautiful young master, Tang San called out impulsively, instantly regretting it. He didn't want to offend her. Surprisingly, she seemed not to hear, continuing swiftly and vanishing down the path. Did she not hear, or is she ignoring me? Tang San's heart tangled. No matter the crisis, he stayed calm and wise, but with her, his composure vanished. As she exited the academy gate, she paused, turning back to glance at the academy. Frowning, she felt puzzled. She'd met countless human vassals, many who bought milk tea, yet she clearly remembered seeing him before, despite his changed appearance. A subtle affinity stirred for this frail, younger boy. She knew her own nature, distant to all but her mother. Approaching him to speak was unlike her, yet he was a stranger. No, not the 3rd time seeing him, the 4th. She glimpsed him cleaning in the demon battle zone that afternoon. Shaking her head lightly, she headed down the mountain. Back at Redemption Academy before dinner, Tang San saw Dubai. Brother Dubai, how are you feeling? He asked. Dubai replied, yesterday's drain was heavy. I'm a bit weak, but as you said, my mental strength's growing faster. I felt it this morning, stronger now. Tang San said, shall we continue tonight? Your Skyfox Eye needs external stimuli to advance better. Dubai looked grateful. Little Tang, I'm believing in luck more and more. Since meeting you, good things keep coming. Wealth aside, my stagnant Skyfox transformation's finally progressing. Thanks. Anything you need, just say. Tang San smiled. Helping you helps me. Your stronger Skyfox brings luck to us all, right? Today's events made him value Skyfox Eye highly. Invest Jiali Academy, seeing her twice in one day, and her speaking to him, was pure luck thanks to Skyfox Eye. Even now, he was thrilled. Seeing her daily, even just to get familiar, was a start. Alright, after dinner, I'll find you, Dubai said cheerfully. Who wouldn't want to be useful? Since hitting 4th tier, the academy valued Dubai again. Their last mission success, credited partly to his luck, reinforced this. With Purple Demon Eye boosting his mental strength, he saw his cultivation anew. Tang San genuinely wanted to help Dubai advance Skyfox Eye. His progress would lift Tang San's too. Such a luck-based ability was too intriguing to not explore, beyond its practical uses. I'll come to you, Tang San said. That way, you can rest in your room after. I'll head back. Works. After dinner, they trained Skyfox transformation. The method mirrored yesterday. Tang San applied intense pressure. Dubai, prepared, felt the near-death sensation controlled well, benefiting greatly. As Dubai rested, Tang San returned to his room to cultivate. His Lingxi Sky Eye remained at 3rd tier peak, not yet breaking through. No rush, with Dubai's training, it was only a matter of time. Back in his room, today's events shifted his plan to accumulate slowly. Chapter 156, formulating a plan. He had to get stronger, fast. Otherwise, how could he protect beautiful young master? And how could he deal with that golden-haired student? With his current strength, he was no match for him. The reality of being outclassed by the golden-haired student hit Tang San hard. He needed a way to grow stronger. To advance Mysterious Heaven technique, he had to increase his physical strength to support further breakthroughs, alongside raising his bloodline imprints, tears. Skyfox, Time, and Golden Punk transformations could progress steadily, but limited by Dubai, Guli, and Chang Zicheng, they'd reach 5th tier at most for now, nothing to rush. Wind Tiger transformation was already 6th tier, maxed out. Flash Leopard and the newly integrated Azure Jade Vine were his options for growth. Azure Jade Vine held special meaning, tied to his past life abilities, and he needed to experiment with it. He required a bolder, more comprehensive cultivation plan to keep up. Forget the Golden Lion. Beautiful young master 7th tier Peacock transformation likely outclassed him. Did she need his protection? She could protect him. In battle, she hadn't used full strength, and her teammates, respect hinted at her true power. Time to make a plan. Over the next few days, Tang San worked at Jiali Academy. Boosted by Skyfox Eye's luck, he saw beautiful young master 3 more times, twice at the main plaza, once while cleaning elsewhere. She didn't speak to him again, but he felt her gaze linger. She'd noticed him. He was realistic. She wouldn't care about sweeping little Tang. For days, he crafted a plan, not just to boldly boost his cultivation but to get closer to her. Given his status, pursuing her was impossible, and his age didn't allow it, but he could approach her, build familiarity, lay groundwork for the future, and learn more about her. After days of thought, a complete plan formed. What sweeping little Tang couldn't do, another Tang might. Night fell, and Redemption Academy students slept or meditated, the campus serene. Tang San quietly opened his door, dressed in black night attire, slipping through the gap. His mental power cloaked him, blending into the darkness. To hide, he even infused a trace of divine consciousness into his mental shield. He had to. Teacher Siru, a god-level powerhouse, had keen perception. One slip, and Siru's divine sense would spot him. Tang San cautiously left Redemption Academy, then sped up, exiting the academy town toward Jiali Academy. The distance was short, and he soon reached its vicinity. He didn't act immediately, pausing to sense his surroundings. A faint white glow lit his eyes. Lingxi Sky Eye activated. He tapped Sky Fox Eye's foresight. At third tier peak, he couldn't yet alter luck, but judging fortune or danger was easy. Sky Fox Eye's marvel was luck control. At god level, its wielder became luck itself, untouchable even without combat power. Sensing no danger, he knew he could move. He silently leapt, swiftly nearing Jiali Academy. After nearly a week's observation, he'd analyzed the academy. Its core had a powerful defensive array. Tang San didn't know its mate but understood its traits. Jiali Academy had a comprehensive alert array. Full defense for such a vast area would drain too much energy, but an alert system was feasible. Intruder scaling walls would trigger alarms, facing the academy's powerhouses. The array covered every inch, no blind spots. Tang San didn't need to guess. He stayed calm, hiding in a corner by the back gate. Concealing his presence, he waited. Not long, about 15 minutes, his target appeared. He trained with Dubai tonight, having him boost his luck. Depleting Sky Fox Eye aided Dubai's bloodline stimulation. With luck on his side, missing his target would be odd. Two figures crept to the back gate, and Tang San watched them strip off lavish clothes, changing into Jiali Academy uniforms. The two monsters, around 20, looked like students in uniform. From over 10 meters, Tang San caught a whiff of alcohol. They've been drinking heavily. Meow, meow, one monster called softly. Soon, the back gate opened. The two slipped inside. Chance. Tang San moved, crouching low, using the night's cover to dart from the corner. Nearing the gate, he flashed, vanishing silently. The guard frowned, sensing something but finding nothing. Thanks, brother. One monster pulled a bottle from his coat, handing it to the guard. Come back earlier next time. I'm tired waiting, the guard said, pocketing the bottle and returning to the gatehouse. The monsters hurried off, vanishing. Unseen, Tang San had used leopard flashes near teleport speed to slip from outside shadows to inside ones. Chapter 157, Infiltration. Successfully infiltrating the academy, Tang San had chosen his spot carefully. With shadows in his night attire, detection was nearly impossible. This plan stemmed from his recent experiences. He entered and exited through the back gate daily. Jiali Academy's alert array didn't trigger for normal door access. Leaving the back gate, he'd overheard monster students talking. Sneak out for a drink tonight. I've squared it with the guard. This caught his attention. Over a few nights, he observed multiple groups returning late. Jiali Academy enforced closed management, barring leave without permission. But young monsters, restless, slipped out to play. Guards turned a blind eye for bribes. Why not profit? Tang San seized this chance to infiltrate. From his storage bag, he donned a black metal mask of dark gold, covering the upper half of his face for concealment and some defense. Once the monsters and guard left, he moved swiftly, darting into Jiali Academy. His week as a cleaner wasn't wasted. He knew the terrain well, heading straight for the training area. His midnight infiltration wasn't to find beautiful young master but had another goal. 5 minutes later, he cautiously reached a building. Pointed roofed and modest sized, it was near the demon battle zone. Two monster guards stood at its entrance. Both were burly, over 3 meters tall, with long, thick arms wielding 5-meter metal staffs as thick as adult arms, heavy and imposing. Great ape demons. Ape monsters ranked among the top 10 clans. Not the strongest, they were still a main combat force. Tang San sensed both were at least 8th tier. This was the only guarded spot in Jiali Academy, the store. Not called a shop here, it was the academy store. Zhang Haoshuan had mentioned it sold items exclusively for Jiali students, cheaper than outside, with far better goods than Redemption's shop. The store also bought monster corpses and rare plants, a student perk. Tang San's target was this store. 2 8th tier guards and an internal alert array. Intrusion would trigger an immediate alarm, showed its importance. The guards and array weren't for outsiders but to prevent student theft, which had happened before. Tang San didn't choose this target thinking he could overpower 2 8th tier guards and bypass the array. Jiali Academy had multiple god-level powerhouses. If caught, escape was impossible. To gain anything, he had to outsmart, not overpower. Watching the pacing great ape demons from afar, he stayed patient, waiting in a dark corner. Time ticked by 2 hours later, the apes converged. About time, one asked, glancing at the sky. The other nodded. Close enough, let's check inside. Another hour, it'll be dawn. Let's go. They approached the store's main door, emitting faint yellow light. The door responded with matching light, preventing the alarm. One ape opened the door and entered, the other turned outward, guarding. Tang San acted in that split second, one turning, one entering, his waited moment. Approaching from the side, he glimpsed massive cabinets behind the counter, holding items for sale. He knew the most precious items wouldn't be in open cabinets. If they were, they'd be protected, and contact would likely trigger the alarm. Chapter 158, Academy Store. Tang San's goal wasn't necessarily to take something but to scout the Academy Store's layout. Reconnaissance was his priority, he wouldn't risk alerting anyone. If he took that risk, his target would have to be the most valuable items. After observing, he used leopard flash twice to slip into a darker corner inside, curling up and concealing his presence. With Lingxi Sky Eye and his strong mental power, even the 8th tier great ape demon couldn't detect him. The ape finished its patrol, exited, and locked the door. Tang San was alone inside. He exhaled slightly, stretching, his eyes glowing white as Lingxi Sky Eye scanned the store. Under its gaze, the cabinets behind the counter turned colorful, each hue marking a different attribute, brighter ones indicating greater value. Approaching the counter, Tang San scanned the display cabinets. As expected, the most vibrant ones had protective layers on their doors, linked to the alarm system, visible through his Sky Eye. With his current cultivation, he couldn't silently bypass the alarm array. His goal was to study it closely. As a former god king, given enough time, cracking it wasn't impossible. Defense levels varied by section. Weapons, potions, and medicines were in metal cabinets with locked doors. Daily goods and plants were in open displays, common plants, not rare treasures, including edible fruits and vegetables. Circling the outer counter area, Tang San moved to the back. The store's front was the largest, but the rear held safes, thick metal vaults. Touching one, he sensed through Sky Eye that they were at least a foot thick, with intricate internal alarms. Even god-level experts would struggle to break in silently. The store's defenses were tight. 6 safes likely held different rare items, unseen by students, only selectable via catalog. These safes held the true treasures, Tang San's ultimate goal. To open them, he needed to understand their defensive arrays without triggering alarms. That was his chance. He started with the outer alarm system, seeking the central hub of the store's array. From a week of working at Jiali Academy, he noted the monster clan's array skills were mediocre, lacking complex designs. This was why he was confident. Jiali Academy's massive defensive array was singular and simple, consuming vast energy but not intricate. As a god king, Tang San had studied energy interactions in the divine realm, using arrays to amplify effects. His Douluo continent had evolved from cold to hot weapons, then to high-tech, driven by complex arrays. When his divine realm lost track of Douluo continent, it had transformed. Focused on his wife's survival, Tang San hadn't fully returned but observed its energy array advancements. With his divine consciousness, learning was easy, especially planning his reincarnation. Compared to Douluo, Falon Star's energy, resources, and life levels rival divine realms, but its technology lagged far behind. Studying Jiali's arrays, Tang San knew that with time and access to the core, even the academy-wide alarm would be ineffective. But the core was likely in a key, guarded area. Finding it was easy, studying it closely was not. He needed a higher tier Sky Eye for precise, distant energy analysis. The store's independent array was easier. Finding its core wasn't hard. Through Sky Eye, the 6 safes, energy fluctuations were clear. Oddly, their alarms were identical, relying solely on arrays, not physical locks or combined defenses. The monster clan trusted their simple arrays, a sign of their crude energy research. This made things easier. Crack the core array, and the store was open to him. From his storage bag, Tang San took paper and pen, noting the safe's energy patterns to deduce the core's location. After an hour, he found it smartly. Jiali Academy placed the core array inside one safe. To crack it, he'd need to enter the safe first. Opening a safe likely required an energy key-like array, which he couldn't deduce. This posed a challenge, but he stayed calm, shifting to the display cabinets. Valuable items there had individual alarms, unlinked to the safes, but similar in type, likely for cost saving or their inability to create nested arrays. Chapter 159, the plan begins. Decoding the outer cabinets, alarm arrays was far easier. After an hour, Tang San was confident he could silently open their doors. A smile crept onto his face. He had a plan. Morning, at the academy store's entrance, a great ape demon stretched, yawning. Nearby, another ape yawned, as if contagious. Why aren't they here? Lazy bums. I'm exhausted. They're coming, the first ape said. A short monster hurried over, his glossy brown yellow hair gleaming, muzzle sharp, frame slim. His large eyes darted restlessly. Manager Hu, you're late today, an ape chuckled. The fox demon, Manager Hu, snapped, late. You're getting lazier. Come in for the handover, then sleep. Right, the apes followed Manager Hu into the store. Just inside, Hu stopped, eyes widening. He shot like lightning to the counter. The apes, startled, rushed after. Manager Hu, what's wrong? One called. Hu's shrill, angry voice rang out. What's wrong? How do you do your job? Why is a cabinet door open? They hurried to see. Indeed, a drug cabinet door, facing the entrance, was ajar, obvious to Hu at first glance. Impossible. It was fine during patrol, an ape protested. Hu ignored them, furiously grabbing a ledger to check against the open cabinet. His grim, angry expression softened. Nothing's missing. Everything's here. Good, good. The apes looked baffled. Manager Hu, what's going on? Hu glanced at them. Odd. The door's open, but nothing's gone. No theft ruled out the apes stealing. They only patrolled and didn't know how to open cabinets. Forced entry would trigger alarms. Nothing lost. That's good. The ape sighed. Hu didn't relax, moving to check the safes. Unnoticed, as Hu opened the first safe's door, a shadow slipped out, silently leaving the store. Low house. Sorry, old Mao, I'm late. Overslept a bit, Tang San said apologetically. No matter, just a few minutes. Be careful next time. Get to work, old Mao said, smiling. Yes, right away. As Tang San grabbed cleaning tools and left, old Mao's gaze softened. In a week, the boy had been near perfect, efficient, quiet, thorough. The academy's dean of discipline praised him twice for spotless areas. Tang San was now permanent, working 3 days a week, with extra tasks as needed. His weekly wage was 20 demon coins, a solid income for a human vassal, enough for a comfortable life in Jiali City, especially for a 10-year-old. Work done, Tang San returned to Redemption Academy, ate dinner, and trained with Dubai. In the past week, Dubai's mental strength grew faster, Tang San's near-death depletion method proving effective, accelerating his Skyfox bloodline's growth. No Jiali Academy today, so he could train at Redemption. After training with Dubai, Tang San returned to his room, sketching plans based on his store observations. Cautious, he avoided infiltrating the store for a week, sticking to work and training. Luck brought 2 more sightings of beautiful young master. Each time, his mood brightened. His only irritation, a third of those times, the golden lion youth was there. Though she showed no closeness to him, Tang San felt sour. His age was an issue, but that golden lion dog, his nickname for the youth, was undeniably impressive. Tang San was helpless, his plan needed time, and his strength was lacking. He had to act faster. Night fell, the darkness lending mystery. In the quiet, some thrived. Tang San slipped out of Redemption Academy, left the town, and reached Jiali's back gate. His eyes glowed white, Lingxi Sky Eye assessing his luck. Enhanced by Dubai's Skyfox power, his luck should be strong, but he checked cautiously. Waiting at the gate, luck favored him. 2 drunken monsters arrived, softly calling. The guard opened the gate, letting them in. Tang San darted from the shadows, leopard flash ready to slip through as before. But a sudden, intense jolt hit his heart. Danger. He halted leopard flash instantly, his right toe tapping the ground, flipping backward into the distance. Simultaneously, a large hand grabbed at his prior path, followed by a shout, who dares trespass our academy? A powerful aura erupted, a blue-purple figure charging toward Tang San. 8th tier, at least. Tang San sensed it instantly. Crisis surging, he slanted forward, ghost shadow perplexing track dodging 2 lightning strikes. Leopard flash flickered again, driven by 6th tier mysterious heaven technique, weaving through the back mountains foliage to hide. Chapter 160, Evolution, Lingxi Sky Eye. The pursuer's speed was relentless, blasts of lightning erupting, toppling trees. Worse, a mass of lightning gathered above, poised for a wide-range attack. Tang San didn't flee toward the academy town but down the mountainside. He had to escape before alerting Jiali Academy's higher-ups, or he'd be in deep trouble. Why had Dubai's luck boost failed? He'd sensed no bad omens. He hadn't even entered the academy, frustrating. Leopard flash, leopard flash, leopard flash. Pushing leopard flash to its limit, he sped away. The pursuer attacked, thunderous roars echoing, flying on a massive lightning orb with storm clouds overhead. With a wave, dozens of lightning bolts rained down, covering Tang San's escape routes. Using ghost shadow perplexing track, Tang San, desperate to survive, ignored exposure risks. He readied time transformation to freeze any nearing bolts, creating escape chances. His Lingxi Sky Eye gave him the precision to do so suddenly. A searing heat burned in his eyes, his mental sea swelling briefly. He sensed a vertical eye rising above his head, a white light enveloping him. His mental sea surged, mental strength spiking temporarily. The lightning monster, shocked, saw Tang San dodge every bolt with uncanny steps. As he prepared to pursue, his lightning orb destabilized, and a muffled thunder rolled. Rain coming, the orb trembled, forcing him to flip away. It exploded into hundreds of electric arcs, blinding his view. Why did it explode? Landing, the monster fumed, but Tang San's presence and aura had vanished. Soon, Jiali Academy's powerhouses arrived. Luo Wanyu, what happened? A burly, 40-ish monster teacher demanded. A thief, weak, likely flash leopard clan, maybe a human vassal. Around peak 4th tier leopard flash, Luo Wanyu, the lightning monster, replied. A 4th tier thief slipped you. Could you be more useless? The teacher roared. Luo Wanyu's mouth twitched. Teacher, it's not my fault. My lightning orb exploded from sky thunder, giving him a chance. The teacher sniffed, eyes blazing. Drinking, huh, drunk enough to lose control of your orb. Useless. Wait till I deal with you. I was wrong, teacher, Luo Wanyu muttered, helpless. He drunk heavily with friends, but his innate lightning affinity kept him sharp, training his thunder body. Leopard Flash used lightning-like energy, so he'd sense Tang San instantly. A 4th tier thief, what could he do in the academy? He'd overreacted, only to get caught by his teacher. Students sneaking out was overlooked, but being caught meant punishment. I'll tear you apart if I catch you, Luo Wanyu growled toward Tang San's direction. The teacher dragged him back. Tang San weaved through Jiali City, confirming he'd lost his pursuer, then hid in a dark corner. Breathing heavily, his expression was odd. When his mental sea surged, he realized Dubai's luck hadn't failed, his earlier judgment was correct. No real danger. More crucially, under the chase's pressure, his Lingxi Sky Eye had advanced, and Sky Fox Eye followed. The vertical pupil above his head was Sky Fox Eye's effect. He felt luck's power for the first time. Thunder rumbled, rain falling. Coincidence. No, luck. The pursuer's orb exploding. Luck. Dodging every bolt with ghost shadow perplexing track. Luck. All from 4th tier Sky Fox Eye. With luck applied, he felt drained, but mysterious heaven technique eased at his 6th tier body endured 4th tier backlash so strongly. Dubai's daily mental exhaustion must be intense. Sky Fox Eye was tough to train, but its power was staggering. An 8th tier pursuer was thwarted by 4th tier Sky Fox luck. Though backlash followed, what if his Sky Fox Eye grew stronger? With immense luck, could an enemy's own lightning kill them? Sky Fox transformation felt uniquely blessed. 4th tier was his knight's greatest gain. Despite weakness, his mental sea's energy was condensing, expanding its capacity. Only a tenth of his mental sea held liquid mental strength, but it could support him to 9th tier peak. He needed to advance Lingxi Sky Eye further. Sky Fox Eye was key, but Lingxi Heart Eye and Eagle Eye mattered too. With Sky Fox Eye upgraded, he'd focus on the others next. Dubai's progress was slow, though faster than before. Sky Fox Eye was hard to advance, reaching higher tiers might take a year. 4th tier luck, self-controllable, was enough for now. After resting an hour and observing Jiali Academy from afar, Tang San detoured back to Redemption Academy.